devils, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's starting to get people riled up, man, in the spirit. You know, he's getting people riled up so much on the spiritual note that, look, man, they just gonna look, damn it, I'm tired. He's gonna kill these people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Get them.
That's right. And also, you're dealing with the media. Things weren't put out before. Things were hidden from you before. We'll say in the 90s, as opposed to now, they laying it all out there.
That's
car
right.
chase on, you know, you watching the car. I remember watching one where the guy got out the car and he killed himself.
Yeah, we
all right
saw
there
that.
on the news.
We saw that we were watching, yeah.
In the 90s, you wouldn't see something like that. Now, I mean, you can find everything on YouTube. Matter of fact, today, just off GP, I just wanted to see somebody in some car crashes, and I also wanted to see some cops getting shot up. And it was just a click away.
Yep.
Hey, you gotta hear it sometime. You know, it was just a click away. You click a video of motorcycle accident, you see somebody tumbling to their death.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's none of this stuff is hidden from you.
Sirach 39 verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, and which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
That's right. That it appeased the Most High for those people to die on Fort Hood, not only the other day, but in 2009.
Oh, that's right.
It appeased the Most High. It was pleasure to him because his will was done. While you crying and moaning, and it was people at work that was kind of upset with me because I was kind of making snide remarks when they were saying on the radio that there was people running and soldiers were running and jumping over fences. I said, damn, they supposed to be the ones fighting.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the soldiers.
So people looking at me like, come on, man, this is a serious issue. I said, hey, y'all got it. I just walked off.
I mean, but it's serious. Wait a minute, you're on the biggest military. I'm sorry, bro.
No, go ahead.
You're on the biggest military base on the country. Maybe one of the, or definitely one of the biggest on the planet. All right,
it's a world, for real.
And you are at a shooting. You would think that if you're these, what the media portrays the U.S. military to be, these big gung ho, kill everybody. We're the few, the proud, the Marines, and the brave, all that. You would think that when some shit goes down, all the military base, people be jumping up, lock and loaded. They be hunting this dude down, not running and jumping over fences and crying and hollering. At Fort Hood, about what, an hour that way? No, and this is Texas on top of that. Come on, you're supposed to be. I don't mean to sound like a carnival. Y'all supposed to be extra proud.
Exactly.
Y'all in Texas at this Fort Hood. Come on, man.
This is the gun state.
This is the gun state.
At least one of them, anyway.
Johnny Bravo, you know, Rambo, the big mighty white men. You're supposed to, just like the scriptures say, they have become as women. They forborn to fight. You jumping over fences now, right?
Yeah, and a lot of these soldiers in the military today, man, they're extremely weak. You know what I'm saying? Like brother said, man, they're so sensitive today. You wouldn't see them like that a couple decades ago, man.
That's right. Because I believe the story, now I don't know if this is true, but the story that was put out about the guy that just did it the other day, he was upset because he couldn't take leave to go home and see his mother.
His mother, he couldn't make it home to his mother's funeral.
So everybody got it done because of that.
Yeah, because it screwed him over on his paperwork. So it's like, look, man, Jake get tired of being screwed over too, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The dude there, what was his name? Ivan Lopez.
I don't know if he was a Jake or not.
Yeah, you don't know if he was Jake or not, but I'm just saying, you know, people get tired of being screwed over all the time, man. And these soldiers, man, they're depressed during these times of war, man. They got to keep going back and forth overseas and everything, man. They constantly seeing their friends getting blown up and shit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they're getting people in that frame of mind here in the U.S. prepared for now. They want you to see that. You know?
Real quick, if I can bring a precept alluding to what the brother was talking about. This is Psalms 55, and I started 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Now Esau puts forth his hands with his legislation. He puts his pen on the paper. So through his policies, he is coming up against Jake. But also through his actual might, his willpower, he's fucking Jake.
He's coming up against everybody.
That's right.
That's true, man. Yeah, but I mean, just to go in further on what you're saying, like, that's why these soldiers are losing their minds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's promises made to these soldiers of their education, their careers and shit. A lot of these soldiers come out of the military with no promise of a future, man, as far as work or anything.
Homeless, poor.
You know, homeless, poor, all these things, man. These soldiers know that's their fate once they leave. That's why a lot of them don't want to leave after they've done 20 years and things of that nature. It becomes a political thing. So when Esau makes these promises that, hey, we're going to take care of you if you have injuries and things of that nature, they go back on that word. And that's why a lot of these soldiers lose their minds, whether it be on the military post or even out in the world. They don't even tell you of military soldiers that go to jail right after they come out the army.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't have no sympathy or care for you
Kind.
because you joined the so-called white man's army.
That's right.
Thinking
That's
it was a
right.
video game. You thought it was Halo 2.
That's right.
Now you seeing that it ain't Halo 2.
And I could testify to that because I'm dealing with that right now. You know what I'm saying, on a personal note, but I don't give a fuck because I know this is how these devils are.
That's right.
Just like there was I believe a Mexican, so-called Mexican, he came up to the camp. He was out there in camp one night, and he was all puffed up like, I went out there and I fought for you all's rights. No, you didn't. No, the hell you didn't. You fought for the so-called white man's rights in earth. You were doing his bidding.
And in that contradictory, you just had a so-called Mexican get shot on the damn a homeless Mexican get shot, you know, by the damn police, border police and border patrols and all that other shit. So what rights were you really fighting for? You people contradict yourself so much when you talk about this freedom and all this bullshit, man. This is why people are at the Most High's putting that spirit on people to go into an uproar, man, to start killing people.
That's right.
Because they know they're being screwed over every goddamn time.
That's right.
Go back to
Con. This is verse 2 Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Exactly. Go ahead. You were about to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, you also got these earthquakes that are going on. They just had one, I believe, in Oklahoma. Yeah, it was in one of these states, man. Like, it's all that from that fracking and constant drilling and pollution and shit, man. You're literally bleeding the earth. You know what I'm saying? You're bleeding the earth dry, and then you people can't figure out why there's droughts. I just saw another article today before we came out here on Louisiana. All the swamplands are completely drying up. This is stuff you're not going to hear about on regular media. Those swamplands are actually drying up down there in Louisiana. There's constant sinkholes and shit. The water's just completely disappearing right now. Y'all think there's not going to be big famines and pestilences and stuff like that? It's happening right now.
Same thing that was happening in Egypt.
Same thing that was happening in Egypt. That brother, that's absolutely correct, man. And people are not seeing that, man. Like, one guy was saying, man, I've been fishing down here since I was a child. He said, man, I've never seen anything like this. He said, I've never seen anything like this. He said the waters are completely just disappearing from the swamps.
I got a precept for you.
Okay, brother.
Since I brought out Egypt. 2 Ezra 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment of the Most High shall bring upon it.
God, and just let those
You
plagues.
can tell that this place is Egypt, because they love to use that pyramid.
That's right. That's right.
And
It's
this is
like-
also relative to Babylon. And you can just keep going and going and going.
That's right. And not only that, you know, there's a damn Ebola outbreak in Canada. There's meningitis coming back. That's that shit that go all the way back to the Great Depression.
That's right. And if I can add once again, Alex Jones, everything ain't a conspiracy. The Lord just want an Ebola outbreak. Now, I'm not saying that the so-called white man or Satan couldn't, put that out there, but everything ain't a conspiracy.
That's right.
The Lord wants you to get the Ebola outbreak or Ebola virus. Guess what? You got it.
You got it. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I used to think that Ebola outbreaks was happening in Africa. Some damn where, and it was like, yo, all this stuff, all these old diseases are coming back, and they're even more powerful than they were back then, as far as outbreaks.
Just like this Egypt before, this is Egypt now.
That's right.
Along with those plagues too. Those are plagues the Lord's put on this earth.
Egypt shall mourn, 2 Ezra 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn. The farmers, look at Monsanto. You know, Monsanto has pretty much ruined the agriculture industry. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation.
If I can, just real quick, what you saying with the Monsanto, we know their motives for why they have certain seeds that only last one harvest, and why they jack up the land and all that. When you look into the actual people who do farming, who are actually trying to farm and make a living, all right, they're the ones that are catching hell from that. Because Monsanto's pretty much trying to drive them out of business and ruin their livelihood. You know?
That's right. And the Lord just put a plague on Egypt, that you're not gonna get those crops that you wanted. That your cattle is not gonna be big, strong, heavy meat-bearing cattle. Your chickens aren't gonna be the same as before.
That's right.
The Lord put that curse on this place.
Yeah.
Woe to, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
And that's talking about them riots, man. It's gonna be much deeper than just some race riots, man. People are gonna be getting jacked up, man. It's gonna be a survival of the fittest out here. You know what I'm saying? And people, you know, you got your doomsday preppers. You got people, man, we down here in Texas, man. These people gonna be loaded up with guns.
Yep.
Ready to go to war, man.
They're already loaded up with guns.
Already, yep. Con. Hey, now you clear.
He was like, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what the brother was just talking about, the swords in their hand. Everybody got a gun.
God.
Everybody. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. You got Turkey going into Syria. Syria want to go in there and there. That's exactly what you're seeing in the world right now.
Yep. Con.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, and it's like the brother just said, it's these constant crises going on in these countries. It ain't just Ukraine. Let's not forget, man, you still got this economic issues going on in Greece, Turkey. Them people out there rioting too. Man, they got these U.S. mercenaries, man, out there routing things up too, man, through the spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All due to the will of the Most High. You know? And you got that shit going on in Venezuela. People writing down numbers just so they can stand in line, don't lose track of what number they are, just so they can get some food.
Yeah, that's World War I right there. That same stuff was going on.
God. You know? It's really getting terrible out here.
The majority of those uprisings, because you know Esau is putting all these he's putting these iron clutches, you know, through his policies on the people. You know, you're not being able to have enough financially to be able to get any food or get resources. What you gonna do?
And now I ain't mean to cut you off. Now you gotta ask yourself, what is food? You don't even know what you eating.
God.
I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
that's another beautiful point. Just like the article that came out about how it was a high school kid in Canada. He did a science project where he tested the seafood of what was coming from over there in Fukushima. So the radiation was like 3 times, I believe it was more, but I think it was like at least 3 times the normal rate, or the rate that would be considered, you know, unsafe to eat. And then they didn't even tell you about it. It was some Canadian high school kid.
That's right.
That's crazy.
And you got the simple-minded American thinking it don't. Oh, that's in Japan. It don't affect me. Well, if you go to your supermarket, if you eating fish, for just one example, if you eating salmon and other stuff that's in that water and up there by Alaska in the northern Pacific, guess what? That water's contaminated.
Yep. Right. That's right.
So you sitting up here enjoying the fruits of Fukushima.
Yep.
Thinking you in America the great.
Right.
America the spoiled and disgusting.
Right. And you know, we try to do the best we can, but Esau's got you duped, you know, like 100% real. Like, why would you have to put it's 100% real or organic, you know? You do the best that you can. We all pray to the Lord, but this place is defiled, man.
That's a good point.
Help this place.
You shouldn't have to tell me it's organic. You shouldn't have to tell me an apple is organic.
Right.
I shouldn't have to be in the store making a choice between conventional and organic. I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
And somebody, if I can get a precept, Sirach 13 and 13. And if anybody, you know, we'll just start wrapping it up.
Yeah, comment. Okay.
Yeah, Sirach
Got
chapter.
anything to say? Let it go. Sirach 13 and 13. Got that new sword, man.
Yeah, fresh.
Pages stuck
I'm about
together.
to say I'll find it.
All right.
You got it?
Yeah, Sirach chapter 13, verse 13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in the peril of thy
That's
overthrow.
right, y'all. You're walking in the peril of your overthrow. You're walking in the valley of the shadow of death. It's all around you. You may not look at it you may be looking at it in a carnal way, but spiritually, death is at each and every single turn and decision that you're making.
Yeah, that's right.
It's right there. It's a woman in front of you. You have that could possibly be death right in front of you.
Right.
The food that's in front of you, that could possibly be death. You might be eating something that's laced with pork. So it's good to do that due diligence, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do out here, you know?
That's right.
That's right.
But that doesn't mean be diligent. That's not what that means, right? Go ahead.
Right.
It says, when thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep.
That's right. Awaken your sleep. And if you out here, I hate to go back there, but if you out here with a lineup at this point in time, you sleep.
Yeah.
You need to wake up.
Yeah, that's
If you're doing rapid fires with a lineup, you need to wake up. I mean, it sounds funny,
No, it's not.
No,
I mean, it is,
brother.
bro.
It's serious, man.
right?
What's more important right now in these last seconds, milliseconds?
Because that's kind of the theme of what we're talking about. This ain't the time. This is the end. This is the end.
Right.
This is what, when we were prophets of old, Lord willing, we were those men. This is what we wanted to see. And I believe that's in Matthew 13. I believe. We want, you don't have to get it. We wanted to see those things, right? Jake owned it tonight. You wanted to see those things. You sitting up here telling me you want to be in captivity forever? Even by death, you get out of this captivity. Now, I'm not telling anybody to kill themselves.
Seeking that death in the area of your life.
But this place needs to go.
Right.
So it would, like I was saying before, it would behoove you to start getting your stuff together. Start getting everything ready, because Pops is coming back. Big Brother's coming back. And if you think it's finna be in another 40 years, you got a mistake. That's all I got.
That's it. I got a quick precept. This is Isaiah chapter 42 and 14. I have long I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills. Like going back to what the brothers were talking about. I mean, you can see it through all the prophecies that the Lord's put on this place. Those are curses.
That's right.
And the Lord is destroying these mountains. There was a video one of the brothers sent out this week where it was just compilation of like the Lord's acts being done in the earth.
That's right.
Sinkholes, floods, and it's all like within the span of a month or a couple of months, you know.
Con.
You got some?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man. Even now they're raising the price of beef due to these droughts that's been going on throughout the U.S., mainly on the West Coast. You know, now they got to raise the price of beef because they can't feed the daggone what do we call it, the herd or flock?
Cattle, yeah.
Right. Can't feed the cattle.
But on that same note, on that same recommended video, they tell you don't eat the beef
Yeah.
because they feeding the cattle corn, Monsanto corn.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And mistreating the hell out of them, you know?
I mean, I'm not trying to